Before I begin my speech, I would like to give a trigger warning. I talk about a lot of really intense stuff, and I just want you all to be prepared for that. Whew, okay. What I'm going to talk about today here is something that I'm not fully sure that any of you are ready to hear. But it's kind of the nature of the beast. It's something you're never really ready for. I'm here to talk about wet burps. Okay, I see some confused looks. Okay, so a wet burp is when you think that you're just gonna burp, and then you end up accidentally vomiting in a projectile spray across your sister and your mom and the dog. You know what it's relatable? Yes? No, I can't. Sorry, that's a joke. Obviously, I am not going to talk about wet burps today, but I am going to be very vulnerable up here, and I think humor is a bit of a coping mechanism for me. I don't know if you can see me shaking, but I am pretty nervous, because what I'm really going to talk to you guys about today is tragedy. Tragedy has defined this semester for me. And if there's one thing that I've learned, it's that there is power in staring tragedy in the face and instead of seeing insurmountable pain, seeing room for growth. This year, my mom killed herself. She was a warrior. She spent her whole life battling mental illness, and on October 30th, she lost that battle. When I found out, tragedy became immediately real to me. The words themselves had this physical quality, as if I'd been sucker punched or slapped across the face. And in the midst of the worst day of my life, and then the worst week of my life, and then the worst month of my life, one phrase kept popping up over and over and over again. People kept saying, "I'm sorry." They meant well. I know that. But I hate "I'm sorry." Because I don't want your pity. I just want my mom back. However, after the "I'm sorries come tragedy's saving grace. Because after people's sorries come their stories. Stories of personal loss that somehow made mine seem that much more bearable. Stories of lost fathers and brothers and all of the tangled, ridiculous ways that we try and deal with the fundamentally unmanageable. It has made me understand that there is a whole tapestry of human pain, whose beauty comes from a shared loss, a shared sense of tragedy, but most importantly, a shared growth. We are together in our pain as surely as we are together in our joy. And we can wish with all of our broken hearts for the impossible, for the banks of the river to reform in the way that they looked before the flood. But the fact is that that is never gonna happen. All we can do is look out over this unrecognizable landscape and try to realize that in the midst of our greatest loss, we stand to gain a strength that we never knew we had. Someday, and I hope to God it is years and years from now, but someday, you're gonna experience the great tragedy of your life. Maybe you already have. That's the horrible legacy of tragedy. It's the gift that just keeps on giving. But in the midst of your despair, I want you to do your best to remember me. And I need you to remember one simple thing. You are not alone. I challenge you to take a breath and smile, even though it hurts. And tell yourself, it's gonna be okay. I can do this. Because I can do this. And if I can do this, you can too.